All right, let's see where we are here. We started a little early. That's okay. That's okay. We're a little early. I mean, we're always early, but this time we're a little earlier than early because normally we start at 15 ish, and today we started at 19 ish. So, yeah. So we'll see. We'll see what's going on with you. What's going on with me? Well, I'll tell you what's going on with me. You see this little guy right here? Yeah, we're going to talk about that today. And we're even going to use it. I'm not using it right now. I didn't want to, show off everything. And oh yeah, that reminds me, I need to put some I got some snips and I want to put those into the production. So we got Big Mike and Big Mike 2. There we go. And then we got that mic. And I don't have, do I have a lav? I don't know that I've got a lav around here. Well, and we're trying something a little different today. Streaming to YouTube as normal, but I thought it might be interesting to stream. Hold on. I sure hope I had the mic off for that. Goodness gracious. I'm in between on my keyboards here. I've got the X keys, the new one. I think it's a 96 XBE 96 that I really like, and vMix has gradually been putting those in. The new XBE series, been enabling them. And I'm not sure if this one's fully enabled or not. So I know it wasn't for a while and we were using central control. So I'm using central control right now for this one. But I've noticed some of the symptoms that I had in the past, the keyboard would have just sort of random lights lit, and those are gone. So I'm wondering if when I updated vMix, was it earlier this week? Must have been earlier this week, from .72 to .75, if that didn't fix it. Let's look at the vMix website and see if we can find. I'm going to take you along with me. I'm going to go to the download free trial button. And then, no, I don't want to do that. Let's go to the forum. Because here in the forum, we can find out the vMix 27 changelog. Do I have this set for sharpen? Hang on a second. Yes, I do. Okay. All right, so that's .61, 62, 72, 75. All right, so new Zoom shortcuts, new Zoom input meeting settings, fixed set gamma Y shortcuts, fixed missing audio, fixed documentation, fixed Zoom. Okay. Well, was it in this one? VST, later camera performance, icons, recording. What about in 769? No, I don't see anything about updating. Maybe it's the kind of thing where they're kind of getting them updated a few at a time, and then when they have them all updated, they'll announce it. I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know. So there we go. It's Gunner. It's Michael. It's Michael saying hi to Gunnar, and Gunnar saying hi to Michael. Well, I'm glad we could have facilitated that. Yes, indeed. All right, so we were talking about central control and X keys and vMix, and I'll test that before next week and see what we can find out. Let's see if this works. This should be a drum roll. Don't think it worked. Let's try the ta-da. There we go. I heard that. What about dun dun dun? There we go. But the drum roll is not working. Okay. So one of the criticisms that I have with my implementation of central control is that I'm an idiot, number one. So that's always number one in any of these things. But the way I have currently configured central control, it attaches itself to vMix by input number, not by input name. So if I scramble my inputs around, all my shortcuts in central control get messed up. That's why for the last couple of weeks, when we did the Streaming Idiots intro, the jaws of death opening up, and it didn't work. I mean, it worked, but then when they opened up, it was a black screen because the input had been changed, the input number, because I had shuffled something about. So Joe said there was a way to make it attached to the input name, so I'll have to learn that. And I think Tim had said, or maybe it was Heath, one of the two at NAB, that vMix was either working on or had already completed the X keys setup and would include some LED lights. So we'll have to check that at some point. In fact, we can probably check that right now. Let's see. Let's do a screen capture. And we're going to go to settings. We'll go to activators. And I've got some buttons here. Input pre-show. Let's just edit that one and see if it's an X keys button LED, if our choices are other than, no, right now choices are blue, red, and blue, red, and then blue and red and blue, red blinking. So we haven't completed that yet. We've got lots of things here. We've got the Stream Deck and the Newmark Orbit. You remember that was the little one that attached to your hip. Novation Launchpad, Novation LED button, couple 3 Behringers, some Akai stuff, fader button LED. But this was an X keys button, and it's blue. Now, if we did a button LED, yeah, we don't have anything as a choice there. So maybe that's a placeholder for the future. So we'll go back here. We're not going to save it because we want to make sure we didn't accidentally change it. But here you can see it goes with the input number. And in, let's see, this is central control. And yeah, there's dun, dun, dun. And what is that? That is 416. So it's up 4 and over 16. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. Dum, dum, dum is actually 15. So it should be that one right there. Oh, that looks like that's dun, dun, dun too. Okay, well, don't want to confuse anything any more than it could go to confusion. All right. There's the question of the day. I've been waiting for that question. Do you have a go on Bird Dog X1? If so, your thoughts? Well, I don't have one, but they have been shipped. but not to me. And apparently they haven't been shipped to the distributor here in the U.S. I mean, the distributor here in the U.S. doesn't have them yet. So my guess is they have been shipped to the distributor, and the distributor, upon receipt, will send those out to people like me. And hopefully my allotment is early on in the process. I know a while back when the previous version of this, I guess it was the X120, and they had prototypes, and they weren't able to ship it because uh, they lost their relationship with a camera builder, and they had to find a new camera builder to build it for them. And in the meantime, made a bunch of improvements, which is just like those bird dog guys. Really impressed with it. For Michael, having seen it and having touched it, but having not operated it, a couple of features stand out. Number one, of course, is that it's Wi-Fi. Number two, of course, is that it can be battery operated, which is just, that's the bomb right there. But it also has an NDI decoder built into it. And there's an HDMI port on it that you can plug a monitor in, or a TV or something like that, and send an HDMI signal of any kind to the camera to be displayed through that HDMI port. So it doesn't have to be the camera's video that shows up as the output of that jack. So that's pretty interesting. So it means, if you can put a camera somewhere, you can put a monitor there if you can get power to it. I guess they make battery powered monitors. I don't know why not. Or little jump packs or something like that. So yeah, there we go. That's a new way of work by Bird Dog. Deliver right after NAB announcement. Yeah. Talking to Dan at NAB, and y'all saw the video last week, and if not, it's on the YouTube page. He was very animated, very excited, and I think very pleased that they were kind of changing their culture a little bit. They weren't going to announce something until they were ready to ship it. I think I may have interpreted that is they weren't going to announce it until they already shipped it, but I think it was until they were ready to ship it. So they were ready to ship, and they ended up shipping within a week or so of the close of NAB. Now that probably means shipping from China, or probably not Australia, but probably from China to the distributors around the world. So they'll begin popping up here and there as time goes on. And I'll get my hands on one. That's what I can't wait. It was funny because Sony had a big announcement at NAB, and their big announcement was this big, great, wonderful camera will be coming in 2025 in the summer. So that was their big announcement. So they get to make that announcement again at NAB next year. So yeah, 2025. So that may be the furthest out I've ever heard of an announcement like that. But I get what Sony's doing. Is Sony wants to say, if you're about to make a buying decision and here's some great features that you want, wait a year and a half and we'll have them for you. Don't buy now. So yeah, that's pretty good. I like that. HX3, yeah, and so many features. And they might all work. Michael, they might all work. We'll see. And in typical, well, I won't say this. My suspicion is, in typical Bird Dog fashion, that they are holding some things back that they haven't finished the engineering on, perhaps, and that they will enable whatever these things are that they're holding back. They may enable those in a firmware update down the line. So hopefully we won't see a whole run of firmware updates to fix something, and then to fix something that they just fixed, and then you know how that goes, to fix a fix. So yeah, But it was funny talking to Dan. He said, NDIHX3, and we had to tinker with it a little bit. They had to massage it a little bit because they couldn't just let it go through the way it is. So yeah, that's pretty cool. All right. NJ Pool Player has been MIA. You want to stop by and say hello? All right. Well, I'm always willing to share what is in my head, but what is in my head might be incomplete, might be wrong, might be right, might be old news, might be new news. We just don't really know. Don't really know. But you might enjoy, and I'll do a review on them as soon as I get them. But this new Bird Dog camera, it's a wireless camera. It's Wi-Fi, so that means you can put it anywhere. You can get a Wi-Fi signal to it, and it's battery operated. So let's say you're doing a tournament and you want to be able to move your camera from location to location around the venue. If the Wi-Fi will reach, all you have to do is pick up the camera and move it to a new spot. No cables, no nothing. I'm working on a wireless tripod, but that hasn't come to fruition yet. So there we go. Jesper, welcome. Glad to have you. Now, let's see. Gunnar says, Tom, if you get a new mic, I have a new mic, remember to set levels equal in your inputs. Last show, you had different levels in all your inputs. That's because, Gunnar, you've forgotten. I'm an idiot. I pulled it out. It wasn't actually in the show. It was in the post show, which means we can break any rule we want to in the post show. So in the post show, I pulled the mic out of the box, popped it in, and didn't realize that it was set low internally. And I went through today prior to the pre-show. And although I'm not using it, I'm wearing it and it's ready to go. I did adjust the volume to max. So we'll see. We'll test it as we go and see if we need to add some gain to it. Now the mic itself, or excuse me, the receiver for the mic does have the ability to add some gain. And then of course I can add some gain in vMix. So it's just a matter of picking your poison at that point. Yeah, but thank you for the reminder. We can still work on that. So Jesper says, Gunnar, long time since I hear new from Automation. vMix is still in version 2 in beta. Okay, well, we get an update from that on Gunnar. Here is Bill Connor from the Mississippi Gulf Coast. Yes, indeedy. Yes, indeedy, sir. Glad to have you. Bill is got an interesting job. And Bill, correct me if I'm wrong, and I know you will. He teaches auto mechanics, and he teaches them. He'll do something on site, but he'll also live stream it for those that are watching on the live stream. Bill, are you using Zoom for any of that? Be curious to hear. In fact, I know I've said this before, but I'd love to get you on the show and see what you might be willing to share about what you're doing. I know some of it is, kind of trade secret kind of stuff. Yeah, I get that. All right. Here is the answer to one of my questions anyway. It may be the question I want. It may be the question I don't want. Okay, I think I've fixed the intro. We're getting ready for the intro here because it's down to mere seconds. Can I point my thumb in that direction? It's right there. Yeah. Zoom combined with vMix. Okay, there we go. Good. Cool. I like that. So I think I fixed the problem with the intro and the outro. Is again, it was the old input number versus input name in central control, and that's on me. But I think I fixed it. So we've got the X keys, XBE96. That's a ton of keys, isn't it? And I stole some of my keys from my other keyboard and kind of repurposed them here. And this has got 96 buttons. Well, one button takes the place of 4. So subtract 4, add 1, has 93 buttons. But still, that's going to do me for a while. I've retired the XK. What is it called? XKE? Or is it just the XK? This is the old 80. This is the XK80. Yeah. Retired this. Have thought about maybe auctioning it off for a good cause. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. Oh, hold on. We have one more comment before we get going. A mic is a mic is a mic. Unless it's a mic. It depends on what background you've got. I read it as mic for a year. Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. All right, let's press the purple button and see what happens. Purple button, 3, 2, 1. Ta-da! All right, cool. So this, oh, hold on, we got to do one more thing. We're looping in Facebook today. So we need to go live on that one. And yeah, there we are. Now we've got Facebook Live. This is on the Eastern Shore Broadcasting Facebook page. So we've got that. We should have started it before the intro, but you know, brains, what can I say about brains? Brains are like trains, and I missed mine. Okay, so really excited about today's show. By the way, I'm Tom Sinclair. This is Streaming Idiots. Streaming Idiots is sponsored by Eastern Shore Broadcasting, my company. We design and build live streaming equipment, mostly PCs, entirely to be used with vMix. I think in 8 years, we've built 3 PCs that weren't to be used. No, 4 PCs that weren't to be used for vMix. We got talked into all 4 of them, and I don't regret that. But it was previous customers who said, "Look, I don't want to go to Best Buy and buy a PC. I'd rather have something that you put together because I know I can trust it." I was like, "Okay, we got that." But we've built and shipped hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of PCs for vMix. vMix is our secret sauce. vMix is secret sauce. If you haven't updated to vMix, the latest greatest is vMix 27. It'll cost you $60 if it's been more than a year. It's worth $60 to get all the cool new features. You know, right now we're streaming at a very low bit rate to YouTube because the graphics card I've got over here in this PC right there, which is really super quiet, and it's not even in a case. It's got the AV1 chip on it, and vMix will send AV1, and YouTube, I think YouTube might be the only one that will do it at this point, but YouTube will accept AV1. So I'm streaming what would otherwise be 12 or 14 at, I think we're streaming it at 8, but we could probably stream it at 6. We did a test a while back on that kind of stuff. So yeah. So, yeah. So version 27.0.0.72 has also got Zoom built into it. It's got lots of cool new features. It's worth taking a look. We did a review on that a while back too. And it's something you want to update to. And here's the thing for me. I know that every time they put out a major update, that we're talking about vMix now, that they are making some tweaks. They're adding a little bit more horsepower here, a little less wind resistance there, a little more torque somewhere else. And it's not a big feature, so they just do it. They just say, you know, and minor improvements. But if you're on an older version, you know, like maybe 21 or 24 or 25, something like that, you probably will notice a seat of the pants difference with the system. Now your PC needs to be configured correctly, and I think we did a video on that a while back too. Just look through our old videos on configuration for vMix, I think is what it was, or optimization for vMix. And vMix has got a knowledge base article on that too. It's not a secret. If you haven't been to the vMix knowledge base, you really owe it. It's like going to a museum in some ways of what the old problems were and how they solved them. And they've got all the new problems in there and how those have been solved too. And the ones that haven't yet been solved. And not necessarily things that are wrong with vMix, but vMix's connection to the rest of the world. Sometimes the rest of the world doesn't play nice. Windows 11 is not on my Christmas list, either to receive or to give. What is it? Windows 11 Home has ads? Ads? You paying for a product? It's got ads in it? It would be like if vMix had ads in it. Ooh, I didn't mean to say that. Don't want to give those guys any ideas. Although they're very modest, and if they were gonna rake us over the coals financially, they would have done it during COVID, but they didn't. And I've had conversations with all of them, and they refuse to price their product at what I believe its value is, which is at least twice what they're charging. Anyway, neither here nor there. Today's show goes back to NAB, as most good things do. At NAB, I did a series of on-the-floor interviews, and I used my good old Galaxy S, whatever it is, S10 Plus, as the recorder, the video and audio. But I also knew that the audio in the phone was not going to be that great, so I bought a bunch of stuff on Amazon, trying to figure out what the best way to get audio into my phone was. And here's one of the ones that I thought was going to be, the best one is it's a cable, and it's XLR on one end, and it's 3.5 millimeter on the other. It'll plug right into the phone. It sounded like crap. Now, maybe I could have worked with it somehow or done something with it, and maybe it was the microphone, but it sounded like crap. So I said, forget that. We're not gonna do that. And then I got some other, there was a $49 wireless mic, and it had a nice big stick handle, and it looked very impressive, but it didn't sound very good. So that one didn't make the cut. And then I think several of you have suggested this, and then I found this device. I won't call it a mic yet. This device from Hollyland Lark Max. And it had two mics, two separate transmitters, and a receiver. And the receiver could be plugged in via USB-C, which plugs it into my phone, or 3.5 millimeter, which will plug it into your camera and my phone. Oh, and USB-C will plug into my PC, and 3.5 millimeter will plug into my PC. And it also came with a cable that had the old Apple connection on it, the little teeny white one. And it came with these little animals got into the box somehow. There's two of them, one for each. So I played around with those for a while. You know me, I am not the brightest bulb in the batch. And I played with it enough to get it to work well enough to do what I thought I needed to do with it. So I took it to NAB, and we had lots of fun with it. Let me show you some pictures of it in action. Let's see. This is this is the interview with Joe Max, and you can see that that's my ATR 897 from Audio-Technica in my hand, but you see there's a rubber band at the top of it, and this little mic right here with the cat on it is kind of jury rigged to the top. So that was very effective. Actually, it was effective. The fact that Greg and other people laughed at me, Greg had just gotten back from heading up the audio at the women's master amateur tournament, the women's masters, the amateur women's masters. There we go. And so he'd done, he had like 400 different audio sources and all that sort of thing. So he laughed. And then at one point he went out and found something better. This was at the vMix booth. And so we covered we covered everything up with another windsock. So it didn't look quite so bad. Didn't look quite so bad. But and you can see on my shirt that I've got this mic on. And that's what I was using for my audio, but I wasn't sure who else I was going to be talking to. So I made sure to to have options for them. Let's get this out of the way. Here we go. There we go. And sorry, we'll try one more time to get that out of the way. There we go. And so this was my microphone of choice. Now, a couple of nice things about it. Number one is, I mentioned before, there's not one, but two, and it comes in this really cool case. And the case, yeah, there we go. That's a little shot. And you can see this is where my mic is. This is where the receiver was. And there's another mic over here. So we'll pull this out and use this as an example. And as soon as you pull it out, it turns on. And you can also set it to record as soon as it turns on. Record right in there, which I'm not a big one for anything recorded. You know, if it's if it's not live, it's not worth doing. But no, I'm just teasing. But the mic is really cool. It's got a record button on the side. On one side, it's got an on-off button on the other. It's also got a something that changes the audio of the mic. Yeah, one of those things. A low-cut filter or something. I don't know. And it's got one of those really strong magnets, so you can clip it onto your shirt. The only criticism, and this is probably just the way it is that this is kind of heavy and it kind of pulls the shirt just a little bit. But they also note that you can, oh, let me pull this one back out. See if you can see it on the side there. Right there at the top, it's got a 3.5 millimeter output. So that can go out to, no, it's an input. So you can plug in a lav mic. That's what I'm saying. You can put this down on your hip and you can run a lav mic up and do the lav mic thing. So, so yeah, I'm pretty stoked about it. In fact, in just a minute, we're going to switch over to it here in the studio. And I want, and I'm trying to ignore the chat right now. No offense to you guys, but I want to get you to tell me, we'll switch back and forth between the two mics and get you to tell me how it sounds, quality of the sound, whether the audio level is close to the sound, whether the sound is close to the same. Same level of audio, same sound in audio. My goal, of course, is that my show has fairly decent audio. And the ATR 89, oh, is that in the picture? Look at that right there. That little rascal. How did you get there? Anyway, the ATR 897 from Audio-Technica has been a great mic. Used it for years. I have 3 of them. I have a backup, and then I have a backup for my backup, but I've never needed it. The one in the picture right here is the backup to my backup that I just hauled out there with me in case I needed it for some reason. So yeah. All right, so let's do the switch over here, and let's get these guys out of the way. And I'm going to turn off this mic so that we don't get a double echo, and then I'll turn on this one, and we'll see how we go. Shall we try it? Let's try it. Okay, here we go. So we're turning off this mic. And we're turning on this mic. Whoa. There we go. There we go. I've got audio set up in the studio here, and for some reason, and I have to go back and track it, I've got it set up to mute my main mic, not to mute it, but not to pass that audio through to the big TV. And that's how I was able to hear the ta-da and the da-da-da-da earlier, and knew that the drum roll didn't work because I could hear that, but I don't monitor my own audio for that reason. So let's see. So Michael says it sounds a little boxy to him. Okay. And OG says, Tom, the Hollyland is sounding a lot better than the other one. Okay. Well, good. It's good to have divergent opinions. And Greg says it's a bit louder and a little less low end. Very clear, though. I think I've got, let me check the EQ. Let me switch you guys over here. And let's check the EQ on my main mic. Am I using any EQ? No, I don't have the EQ enabled. I've got it, I played with it, but I don't have it enabled. And I am using a NS1 plugin, so we'll turn that off when we go back to it. I'm not using any compression or noise gate or anything else. So we've got that turned off. So let's kind of rotate back to my original main mic. So this is the original main mic. This is the ATR 897 with no NS1 noise filter. So we can compare the two. Let's see. All right. So this is the AT. Is it ATR or just AT? I think it's the ATR 897. All right. OG says he's listening in his studio on 8-inch monitors, and the ATR is a lot lower in volume. Interesting. Okay. Am I doing anything? I'm still on this one. Let's see. Are we doing anything with gain? We got 0 gain in it, and it's coming in ASIO, so it's coming in whatever it's set for in the okay, so that's full max on the ATR 897. And this, by the way, is also coming through the Behringer 404 HD audio interface, whereas the mic I'm about to change to, ta-da, is not. It's coming through USB-C straight into the PC, and I can tell right here that it's coming in a little hotter, All right, so let's see. Bill said it would be interesting to hear about battery life. Battery life, according to the people that I've watched on YouTube, is 7 hours. Was it 7 hours or 14 hours? It's a big difference, isn't it? It's at least 7 hours. How about that? We'll find out. Oh, Greg says, not sure about the Hollyland, but the DJI newer units run 8+. Okay. All right. So Michael Quist says, nice. No, he says noise. All right. So noise was on the ATR 897, and it was better on the one I'm on right now. Interesting. Okay. All right. And ZMS Esports, welcome. Glad to have you. Sounds great for a small wireless, but the ATR sounds more refined. Interesting. Michael says, is the receiver boosting input from the transmitter? That's a good question. Don't know the answer to it. I don't think there is a separate audio control on that. Let me rephrase that. The audio control for this mic is set in the receiver, but you can add gain to it in the receiver. There's not a, can I show you guys this without compromising anything? Maybe. Hold on. We have enough cameras around here. We should be able to hook up something. 1 second. Should have thought about this. Actually, I'm on the mobile mic, so I don't have to shout. This is great. This is like being a regular boy. All right, so let's bring a camera in here and hook it up to to something. Ethernet, maybe? And there we go. Okay, that's forwards. And we've got a spare cable around here with a red piece of tape on it, which means that it is Ethernet. Oh dear, we've got 2 jacks on the back of this one. And one of those is Ethernet and one of them isn't. Well, hang on. Bear with me. You should have thought about this stuff, Tom. Okay, so that's going to be in NDI PoE there. Should put a little red tape on that one. Okay. We're making progress here. So is that camera resetting itself? It is. It's right here. Oh, just out of the picture, isn't it? Come on. There we go. There we go. So let's see if we can add this as an NDI input. Is that it? Let's see. No, that's not it. Well, let's see if it is or not. That's an overhead shot of my other desk. Okay, so let's close that one. Let's see, cameras. Nope. Okay. Add input. NDI. Maybe it's fired up by now. There we go. P120. So this is what the P120 sees. And let's do some PTZ work with it. Connect. There we go. Oop, looks like we need to clean the lens. Let's see if we can lower this front leg just a little bit. There we go. Okay, that's a decent shot. So I'm going to try to turn it so that you can see it. And that is the output. Duh. Of course it's output. 10 is the represents 100% volume. You can see the battery indicator. And this button and this button allow you to go through the various settings, of which I am a novice. So yeah, so that's there. So to answer Michael's question, the receiver I don't think is boosting. I think it's adjusting. All right, OG says if you lowered the volume on the Hollyland just a bit, we could in fact do a better comparison. Okay, so let's bring the Hollyland again. Let you guys see what it is I'm doing. So I'm down here in the bottom right section. This is the Hollyland right here. And we're going to bring it down. Let's see. The ATR, it's set at 100%, and its volume is peaking at 20. Actually, it looks like they're both on right now. Yeah, there we go. Sorry about that. Yep. So that one is peaking at 21, 22. And this one is peaking at 8, so let's bring that one down just a little bit. How about now? Check 1, 2, check 1, 2. That's 17, 14. Let's go down just a tad more. I think this is what Gunnar was talking about before. Check 1, 2, check 1, 2. Yeah, is that close to the sound? Let's try this. This is the Hollyland. And this is the Audio Technica. Check 1, 2, check 1, 2, check 1, 2. Audio Technica. Hollyland, check 1, 2, check 1, 2, check 1, 2. So what do we think there? Check, no echo, yep. So noise on the AT. Yeah, let me turn that back. I turned the gain up a little bit on that one, so I apologize. Let's turn that back down where I think it was. Yep, that's where I think it was before. Do we have any gain here? I don't think we do. No, no gain there. All right. So let's bring this guy down just a fraction. So they're close to the same. So it's 27 there. 14, that's not close, is it? Don't want to get too low. All right, so Michael says there's noise on the AT. And so I tried to turn the gain down because there's not really a volume knob per se. So yeah. So what I'm trying to do is to bring the AT down, the Audio-Technica down so it doesn't have noise, and then bring the Hollyland down so they're equivalent in volume. And I can't bring the AT up. I can't bring the Audio-Technica up because of noise. I can add gain, but that's not the same. And that's one of the reasons why we put the noise filter on there. But let's put the noise filter back on there and see if that helps. So we'll go to plugins, we'll put that on, and let's see, where are we? Yeah, we're at 30% on that one. So, all right. OG says he's not hearing. OG says he's not hearing noise. ZMS says mute one or the other. Okay, well, the desktop is muted right now. That's the Audio-Technica. And I'm going to mute it, and then, excuse me, I'm going to unmute it, and then you'll hear echo because I'm doing both of them at once, and then I'm going to turn the Audio-Technica off. So now you're hearing just the, excuse me, you turn the Hollyland off, and you're hearing just the Audio-Technica. All right. So Michael hears noise on the AT, but not on the Holly. OG doesn't hear noise on either one of them. Interesting. Interesting. All right. Well, you know, that's just, and Byron says it's too low. Well, Byron, you know, if I wanted your opinion, I would come up to Atlanta and ask you for your opinion in person. It's good to see you. Yeah, it is too low. It is too low. Let's just add a little. Let's be crazy and add a little bit of gain to it. So there we go. There's a little bit of gain to it. 4 decibels of gain. That's not going to help a whole lot. All right, so let's go back to the Hollyland. I'm going to turn it on, and you'll hear an echo. Echo. And then I'm going to turn off the AT, the Audio-Technica. So Michael asks, is no one else hearing noise? Is he the only one hearing noise? Now, this is the Hollyland. This is not the one that Michael has heard noise on. So let's turn the Audio-Technica back on. We'll get echo so you know both of them are working. And we'll turn the Hollyland off. And this is the Audio-Technica. Now, the other thing about the Audio-Technica is it is, you know, 15 to 18 inches from my mouth. And I can aim it maybe a little better at the mouth. Yeah, that's a little better. It's a shotgun mic, so it's not up here. The Hollyland is, you know, 5-6 inches. Byron says heard noise earlier on the Audio-Technica. All right, so Michael, there's your buddy. Byron says he can hear it too. And Jasper says he hears noise on the Audio-Technica. Okay. All right, that doesn't surprise me. That doesn't surprise me. Let's see. We take the gain down, and the compressor, let's see, the plug-in is still plugged in. Used to be I did some EQ on these, but I didn't really know what I was doing, so I stopped doing it. Greg says, we're going to listen to Greg. Quite a bit of room noise. Is the NR plug-in still off? The NR plug-in right here is on. It's only, and Greg, this is, really basic stuff, way below you. Set for 30%. We can pull out some room noise at 50%, but it's probably just going to be the PC fan over here. It's not electronic noise. It's not background noise that you may be hearing, and maybe processing noise. Let's see what else. Michael says, right now the Hollyland sounds much better, way better than the Audio-Technica. All right, let's turn the Hollyland on. So we're going to get an echo, and we'll turn the Audio-Technica off. So now we're at the Hollyland. And Michael says the Hollyland Lark Max versus the Rode Wireless Go 2 versus the DJI, they seem almost identical. And they could be the same technology that one company stole from another. You never know how that goes. Well, this may be the go-to mic. Here's my personal fear about this mic. Let me go back here for just a second. My personal fear about this mic is that I'm going to go into the bathroom. And you're going to hear me washing my hands. Yeah. So, well, we'll see. We'll see. I'd like to try this with a lav. One of the reasons why I really wanted to go with the Audio-Technica early on is because I didn't want to have a wire restriction so that I could get up and move around if I needed to. And I've got another ATR 897 hanging from the ceiling over there when we were doing the overhead shots, a while back when I was building things and showing you guys that. We got an echo here, huh? Sorry about that. There we go. I think the Audio-Technica turned itself on somehow. It may have turned itself on when I switched back to this wide shot. My bad. This wide shot has a trigger in it that turns the Audio-Technica on in case I forget to turn it on. So, can outsmart myself? No, I can't. No, I can't. Well, that's good. We may try an extended trial with the Hollyland Lark Max, and try some different kind of maybe a lav mic sometimes. Maybe we can actually plug in the Audio-Technica mic. Even though it's a condenser mic, it is battery powered too, so we could do that. So yeah, we'll see. All right. Well, this is a good little experiment, and I appreciate your input. I mean, I can listen to it, but number one, I'm not an audio guy. I don't know what to listen to. My voice sounds horrible to me. I mean, everybody's voice always sounds horrible to everybody. My voice sounds horrible to me. I was distracted by Greg's comment, flush. Yes. I wouldn't be the first one to do it, but I don't want to be one to do it at all, period. So I appreciate your comments. And we'll try this in the future, and we'll try it in different configurations around, and I'll get your comments on it. What I haven't seen yet, and if you guys have used this or one possibly similar to it, since it has two mics, I would like to be able to separate the two. I mean, currently with the Behringer UMC 404 HD, I have 4 inputs that come in as ASIO inputs, and each one comes in as its own channel, mono, but as its own channel. I'd like to play around with this one and see if, maybe you can use the left channel for one mic and the right channel for the other, and then monopolize them in vMix so that you get 2 mic channels. We'll see how that goes. We will see how that goes. Well, thank you again. Thank you again. Such an esteemed group to help me out on this one. So let's call this a thumbs up. We'll try it as a long-term trial, and we'll be back with the post show in just a moment. All right, sorry about that. Let's see, we'll stop that one. Part of my experiment today was streaming to the Eastern Shore Broadcasting Facebook page just for fun, just to see what happens. How hard is it to do? Is it something I can do at the same time? And I wanted to do just the technical show portion. So I wanted to be able to start it at the beginning of the show, in Martin Katie's lovely video, and end it after the show, after the outro. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Are we echoing again? Yeah. There we go. Sorry about that. That's what happens. It comes back to this shot and turns the echo right on. Yeah. Sam Ricard. Let's get the post shows up here so we can all see. So this is Sam's comment. Sam is the weather mayor in Mississippi. Yeah, I do too, Sam. and this is what I bought. I've talked myself into it. I am not one of those people that's going to buy something, use it, and then send it back. So I did plan to keep this one. Oh, what I didn't mention about this little guy, Sam, is I don't know if you can see these little white dots here in the front. Those actually indicate the strength of the battery built into this case. And so the battery can charge all three of these devices twice fully before the case itself needs to be charged. So, and it's got a little USB-C port on the back so that you can plug it in for charging. I like it. I like it. And as soon as I take something out, as soon as I open the case, everything turns on. So it's really, they did a good job of, there's a lot of little teeny buttons there. Well, let's make it easier. So we'll just make it turn on when you open the case. So there we go. Let's see, what do we got here? So Byron. Byron, I'm trying to think. The last time you and I saw each other in person was probably StreamCon in 2017. You think? June of 2017? We went out to eat at that barbecue restaurant. That's my recollection. That's what I remember. Yeah. Yep. That was good times. All right. Oh my goodness. There's always one in every group. Dave, good to see you. Dave and I got to meet in person at NAB. And he's much taller than I thought. And he brought his buddy, and the two of them just about cleaned me out of prizes, which I need to get sent out soon. My apologies on that. We just got hit with a flood of streaming system orders after NAB, just coincidental. I don't think it had anything to do with NAB at all. It just was, yeah, that was just the way it was. So why does this mic keep turning itself on? I fixed it by just turning it all the way down. That's what I did. So Dave, what you missed was, you remember the microphones that I was using at NAB? Well, this is the mic right here. I'm using it for the show today, and had started out with my regular mic, which is just out of the shot right there. And then switched over to this one, and the feedback has been good enough that I may continue to use this as a long-term trial. Let's test it out. I mean, it's one thing to test something, for one show or for one afternoon or something like that, but you don't really get to understand it. You don't use it enough to really know the device. And I really want to know the device. I mean, I really know I can't reach the controls on my Behringer right now because I never change them, the audio interface. But you guys have convinced me that this might be a better mic. So yeah. So Michael says, Tom, why did you choose the Hollyland and over what competitors? Oh, excuse me. I somehow the Hollyland got on my radar. It may have been one of you guys, it may have been Byron, somebody else. And so I watched a few videos on it and some reviews, and you know, YouTube is funny. You've got something called a review, and then you've got something over here called a review. When, you know, somebody wants to review it, they ship them the product, they show you how all their features and benefits work, and then that's it. And then the other kind of review is the man on the street that's using an item, really gets to know it inside and out, and then can talk to you about it, the good and the bad. That's the kind of review over there that I never got. I got just the promo review. I didn't get the actual user's review. And so so I had to buy something. I bought lots of stuff. Some of it wasn't really, I mean, this was a $9 cable that would plug into my phone on one end and plug a mic in on the other. You think the quality of the audio I normally do is bad. That would have been horrible. And I bought a $49 wireless mic, you know, just because. And so I think it was Bluetooth, and it would hook to my phone Bluetooth. And I was worried a little bit about latency with Bluetooth. Here, the Hollyland has got about the same latency. I mean, you know, you tell me. I've added 50 milliseconds of latency to the mic to match up with the camera. I don't think it has much latency at all on itself. Dave says, I won the Lark 1 at NAB also. Are you messing with me? Did you really win one of these at NAB? I mean, not for me. Byron says you can use that also with the Hollyland. Yes, the 3.5 millimeter. This guy. Yes, yeah. And I also figured that I could do a lav mic with it. But you can't beat the ease of pulling this out of the box and clipping it on. I mean, once you've got all your settings the way you want them, boom. Michael says no latency. Okay. Jeep and Dave, you won this. Oh, you won the Lark 1. How is the Lark 1 different? Is it just one mic, or is it a newer version? How cool is that? Man, that's awesome. I'm going to hang out with Dave, win some stuff. Dave won, let's see, what did he win from me? I'm drawing a blank now. I think it was an X keys. And then your partner won a Central Control Studio Max license. Michael Quist says, does it come in white as the Rode Wireless? I have no idea. We can find out. If only there were a way where we could electronically contact a database of some kind in the world to ask that question to. My wife will ask me, what's the weather going to be like in Timbuktu? I'm like, well, if only there were a way. And then she's like, get out of here. You're no help. Jeep and Dave has 2 mics, and they said it was worth 110. Good. I think I paid like 140 for this one, maybe something like this. I know. You thought I knew the answer to the question. Yep, I'm dumber than you even thought, but that's okay. That's okay. That's all right. Let's see, where are we here? Where is that? There we are. What else? Next week, I'm not sure. I've got some folks that I'm trying to get one of them at least to come on as a guest next week. Sorry. And I hope to have a string of guests here in the not too distant future. And we'll just do some kind of getting to know people and maybe get some of the NAB people on for more of an extended interview. I'd love to get Heath on. I don't know if you know this, but Maggie is leaving PTC Optics, X Keys. I think that's public knowledge now. I'd love to get Paul or Tess on from PTZ Optics and talk about the Hive and the other stuff going on. Love to get Dan from Bird Dog on and talk about the X Keys, the XK1, especially when I get one on hand and I can say, okay, tell me about this. And he did a great job of that at NAB, but it's also fun to do it live. And then you guys can ask questions at the same time. I'm looking forward to getting Andy from Zoom on to talk about, kind of the backstory of vMix integrating Zoom and how that all kind of came about. So thank you, Sam. Thank you, Sam. That gave me a chuckle. And Sam would know. Sam's a weather guy. Sam, how many different organizations are you doing weather for now? See, Sam's got his own studio, and he'll do a weather report. I don't know that you're doing them live, are you? I think you're just recording them and uploading them. But who knows? If you're watching weather, how do you know if it's live or not? It could have been live, recorded 10 minutes ago, and you wouldn't know the difference. All right, let's see. Yes, Jeep and Dave won the X Keys 18. 18? 18. I think I have those on hand. And your friend won the upgrade for central control. Gotcha. Sam is live when he records them. We've got it right there in writing. I got to remember that. I'm going to steal that one. That's a good one. Although, I don't record anything, hardly. I did find what I think might be a bug in vMix, and I took a video of it. I recorded it. I'm going to send it to him after the show. So, yeah, there we go. That's what I strive for, Michael. Funny. Actually, if you look at the YouTube page, and I don't know if you guys would ever get to see this, but when I set up YouTube, let's see, can I do that? Can I show this to you? No, I can't show it to you. When I set up my YouTube channel, they ask you what category you're in, sports or nonprofit and activism. That's where the churches go these days. I chose comedy. Why not? I enjoy a good laugh. I love telling a good story. And here's the ultimate compliment right here. Well, I promise you, she wouldn't laugh if she had to live with me all the time. That's what my wife says. Although sometimes I'll get a chuckle out of her. Yep. NAB, we were together most of the time. Anyway, it was fun. All right, guys, I'm going to go back to work here. These PCs will not build themselves, no matter how automated the process is. But I appreciate you guys tuning in. If you want more information about this, I don't know what to tell you to do. What should you do if you want more information? You can send me an email and ask me. You can tune into the next show here and ask me live in the pre-show or post-show. You can go to YouTube and watch any one of 100 videos on it. Or you can continue to watch this show and we'll see how this guy does long term. Oh, would you do me a huge favor? Because this really does help more people get to hear this. If you would like this video, I would really appreciate it. And if you're bored, later today or tomorrow or something like that, if you would go back and add a comment to this video so we can make YouTube think that, I'm interacting with my audience. And of course, if you haven't already, please subscribe. Michael says he's already liked. Okay, so I'm going to go look at the like pages here and see how many likes we've got. And can I show you my screen here? Yeah, this is my screen right there. And there is the likes right there. And there's 6 likes, but there are 15 people watching. Oh, it just increased. Let's go back and look. It's up to 7. Woo! It's up to 7. 7 out of 15. Come on, you other 8 slackers. I'm sorry. That was mean. They aren't 8 slackers. They just left their YouTube on. They went to wash dishes or, take a bath, something like that. Anyway, I'm teasing you. I appreciate you. Oh, here's a question. Let's see. Let's go back to turn it on here. What's the difference between views and watching? I think the difference is nothing. Concurrent viewers, we'll go back to that page for a second. Concurrent viewers here should match the number here and should also match the chart there. 17 there, 17 there, and 17 there. Ooh, and we're up to 10. Thank you very much. 7 more of you guys. Just saying. All right. Appreciate you. Heading out. Gonna go, Michael's, views. Gotcha. You're looking at this right here. That's people that popped in, said, no, this is not for me. Or I've got to go wash the dishes. Or I've got to go take a shower. Or I got to let the dog out. And yeah, so there were 56 people that popped in at one point or another. I think you have to be here for 3 seconds or something like that to qualify as a view. Yeah. Yep. And this is interesting. See the little warning here. The current stream's bit rate of 2.4 is lower than the recommended bit rate. We recommend to use a stream bit rate of 6.8. And I'm actually using 8.0, but this screen has got so few pixels that change on it at the moment. Yeah, there we go. And I don't know if you noticed, but the video here in the top left corner is way behind. That's the point right there where I was going to find a camera. It's not a big thing. Not a thing. All right, guys. Appreciate you. Hang in there, and we'll see you next week. We got some sort of out show. Let's see right there. Yeah, there we go. Thanks for watching.